Hi there. Welcome back to another exciting episode of KSB's Book Review. Happy new month. Welcome to the month of August. 1 week after my birthday, and I'd like to say a very big thank you to everybody for the messages, for the love. You guys made my day extra special. Even after my birthday, I was still getting messages. So I'd like to say a big thank you to every one of you for the messages, for the love, for the everything. I'm just so grateful. And also, I got my first branded cake this year. The pictures on the screen right now. Can you imagine? By the very talented FT Streets. I'm really grateful. I really appreciate it. So if you're having a birthday party, you're looking for or you want to just chill with your friends, and maybe you're having a movie night and you're looking for snacks, you can order a cake or a pastry box from FT Streets. Her page is in the description. You can check out our page on Instagram, on Facebook at FT Streets. And also thank you very much for the messages. And then let's get right into today's episode. Today's episode is quite an unusual one because I'll be reviewing my first ebook. Actually, people have asked me, do I read only hard copy books? But I actually read all kinds of books. And then this is my first e-copy review, and I'm contemplating maybe I'll do some more in the future. But this particular one, the title of the book I'm reviewing today is Playing Detective, written by very talented Modupe Taiwo. The author Modupe Taiwo is a member of the Daystar Online community. I'm also a member of the Daystar Online community. So she's a member of the Daystar Online community, and she's a self-published author that has released three non-fiction novels. But Playing Detective is her debut into the fiction and short stories. She's a foodie, and she's a foodie, she loves to cook, so she uses reading and writing to balance, food cooking, and books as well. So this book, Playing Detective, is about a teenage girl named Bimbo, who's an amateur spy that was recruited by the police force to be able to get intel about a drug cartel in Nigeria. She reads a lot of novels, most especially detective novels, all those Sherlock Holmes type of thing. And she was recruited because one of her friends, is like a high rank detective in the police force in Nigeria, and they're trying to get information about the cartel to be able to shut it down. How they smuggle drugs out of Nigeria, they smuggle it in and out of Nigeria, and they're trying to shut them down. They're trying to get their location, get their information, get information about them, and they recruit her because she has a lot of knowledge, she reads a lot of books, and apparently the person who gave her the position is also reads a lot of books, and they have the same mind. It's just that she's quite younger. But this book is very engaging. It's a thriller. The adrenaline that pumps when you're reading this book, it keeps your hair standing, you get goosebumps. Having her being in the lion's den, as the book described it, being face to face with the 005 of the drug cartel, is very amazing, very exciting. The shootout, having to be smuggled, having to be kidnapped, the shootout, everything was so. It's a fast-paced book, very direct, very engaging, and you read it in less than like an hour, 2 hours. I read it in less than an hour because it's a very short book, but even the short, but it's still very interesting, still very direct. The suspense filled. There are a lot of blank spaces, and the only way to fill those blank spaces is to continue reading this book. So this book is very exciting, very engaging. My favorite parts, my standout parts in this book, there were two things that I really loved about this book. The first one was the shootout scene, where they were trying to exchange the 005 and her and his the 005's colleague was actually taken into hostage by the police force. So they were trying to make a deal, right? And then Bimbo was also being held hostage by the 005. So they were trying to make an exchange, but but in the whole process there was a shootout, conflict of interest and everything. So that shootout, me, I'm the kind of person that loves watching action movies. So reading that particular scene created like a picture in my head. It was as if I was seeing into the book and seeing how everything was happening, even how she was shot, and they described the way the bullets went into her side and damaged her spleen. This that was one of my favorite parts of the book. And another thing I love about this book more specifically, the main character Bimbo is her versatility. And the thing about her versatility is that most people don't know the difference between versatility and flexibility, because she's able to think on her feet. So the way she's able to be able to talk find her way through different situations. She's able to think very quickly. Her flexible mind is able to get us through different situations very quickly. Even under pressure, she works very, very well under pressure, and that's one of the things I love about this. Those are the two things that stood out for me as my favorite things in this book. The new words, there was generous use of vocabularies in this book. And if I want to talk about the list of words I found in this book, we'll probably be here for a couple of minutes. But I'm just going to give you a few of the words that I learned that stood out for me as new words. The first one was besotted, which means very drunk. The second one was depopulated, which means a state of forgetfulness, right? No, not forget. Oh, it's oblivion. That's a state of forgetfulness. But depopulated, it means when you're when someone is very low. Whether it could be like a condition where someone is low, it could be physically, it could be mentally, it could be emotionally. Then the third one is epithet, where epithet is an abusive word that is thrown against someone. An insult, is called epithet. So those were the words that stood out for me. Those are the words that stood out for me as new words in this book. There are a lot more though, so I'll definitely recommend you get the book so you can find out more words. You can be able to increase your vocabulary in the process as well. So if you my ratings for this book is a must read. It's definitely a must read because it's very exciting. It's not a plot you come across every day, because her courage, she's very courageous, very passionate. I'm not gonna lie, I can't do something like that. But having to see someone young like me having the passion to be involved in such cases like that is very amazing. This book is definitely a must read. It's a very thrilling book. The adrenaline is pumping when you're reading it. The hair in your back is standing. You get goosebumps, and this book suspense filled. So I'm definitely going to be giving this book a must read. It's an ebook, so it's not something you find in the library, but there's a link in the description where you can be able to get your own copy of Playing Detective by Modupe Taiwo. Don't forget about the reading challenge. The reading challenge is still on. This is the 8th month in the year 2025, and the reading challenge is still on. So make sure you're on the reading challenge, and make sure you have a couple of friends that you're on the reading challenge with. If you're in Nigeria, you're looking for a library to buy books, you can check out Little Chapters Bookshop on WhatsApp. They sell books through WhatsApp. They sell new and pre-owned books. And this period where there's holiday, they also sell activity books. Activity books are really fun. They have crosswords, they have word finders, they have maths as well. So this period, I actually noticed that a lot of my friends are not going for summer school, so you can use this opportunity this holiday. Even if you're not going for summer, you can use it to get some of these activity books to keep yourself busy this holiday. So check them out. Their number is in the description. Little Chapters Bookshop. They sell books. They sell new and pre-owned books through WhatsApp. So that's all for the review of Playing Detective by Modupe Taiwo. If you want to, you can check out the book. The link is in the description. So make sure you click the link and get your hands on the copy of this book. It's a very engaging book. You read, it's like an hour's read, but that hour you spent reading that book, you feel it's such an amazing book. Whenever I read thriller like that and it comes to an end, it just feels there's this calm that just comes with it, having to find out that everything was all right at the end. Even with all the suspense, with all the drama, with all the plot twists that happened, there's this calm that always comes out. Oh, at least everything was all right, even though yes, there were some loss of life, there were some important characters that end up dying. You still feel this calm at the end of the book. So I definitely recommend, click the link in the description to get your hands on this book, Playing Detective by Modupe Taiwo. That's all for the review today. If you enjoyed the video, drop a like on the video, subscribe to the channel, share the link with your friends. If you have anything you think I should do in my next video, if you think there's any book I should read, drop it in the comment section. I'll definitely read it. I'll definitely review it in my next video. So thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, drop a like on the video, subscribe to the channel, and don't forget that readers are leaders who are way ahead of others. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.